have been discussed in the previous sessions, feelings in relationship. So the prime content in a relationship is that a relationship is there between every self to every other self of the human being. The feelings can be recognized, and we can speak about the feelings with some definiteness. So in that, the foundation feeling is trust. And we have seen what is the content of trust in the previous few Wednesdays. Trust is to be assured to have the clarity that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. Intention of every human being, when I can see that the intention of mine is to make myself happy and to make the other happy, the intention of the other human being is also the same thing. So the clarity for me that the other intends to make me happy and prosperous is what we refer to as trust. The intention of every human being is same. Exploring that finally make us to reach the meaning of what is trust. So on this foundation, we have discussed about the response reaction part. The reaction is because we have this doubt on intention, and response is the clarity of trust on intention. So this is what we have discussed in the previous session, and the reasons for various instances for this response reaction, they are depicted in one of the movies which we used to help ask the students to see. That is right here, right now. So the series of reactions, positive reactions, negative reactions, and some responses can be seen from that. So that is a good movie to watch as well as analyze and evaluate to see what is response, what is reaction, so that we also can see in our life what is how we are handling such situations. Do we react or do we respond? Do we connect the situations? Do we connect our expressions with what has been happening to us externally, or are we contented within that with the feelings of trust and other naturally acceptable feelings, and thus the external expressions of the feelings be naturally acceptable to others also, irrespective of what is happening from outside. So this is the content of trust that we discussed in the last few sessions. Now, if there are some questions regarding this trust, we can take them up, or else we can go to the discussion of respect. So regarding the relationship, the proposals of relationship and the foundation feeling of trust, if there are some questions, we can discuss them right now. You can raise your hand, mic may be passed to you. This is also live streamed in the YouTube channel. So in the YouTube channel, if you join, the possibility for asking questions is not there directly. But in this Zoom platform, those who are joined, you can ask questions. So if you raise your hand, mic may be passed to you. You can also use the chat box to put your comments in the chat box. So yeah. Now mic is passed to many of you. You can respond if you wish to. Yeah.
हेलो,
नमस्ते।
हाँ प्रणाम, प्रणाम सभी को।
नमस्ते ऋषिराज जी, नमस्ते
जी। As far as self activity is concerned about the trust, as I observe that trust may be considered as that trust indicates that our self is sure to expand our activities in the system wherever whatever be the व्यवस्था, जो भी व्यवस्था है उसमें I am find myself comfortable to go further. It can be considered as a trust. Why I am saying it? Because I observe the trust means the vishwas, and vishwas means the activity of self is going to expand in the realm of time or in the dimensions where it exists. And the reaction means when I want to expand in the terms of construction or in terms of formation, then we are bound to react. But I have to keep it in mind that whenever we react, we must be very sahaj in our activities. Reaction is important, but to be a sahaj, which is termed as sahaj svikriti, whenever we have the sahaj svikriti within the self, we can move with reaction as well as with trust. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, Shiraji, did you undergo the workshop, UHV introductory workshop, UHV 2, etc.?
G, yes.
Yeah. Okay, nice. UHV introductory or UHV 2 also, both? Okay, yeah.
Please.
Fine. Okay. So
Sir.
in what we discuss regarding the foundation feeling of trust, as you can see on the screen, my natural acceptance, that is intention, is same as that of the other human being. That is what we refer to as trust. The intention of every human being is same. And when I evaluate myself, I can see I evaluate myself on the basis of my intention. And the evaluation of the other human being is also on the basis of intention. When I evaluate the other also on the basis of intention, that is, I want to make myself happy, I want to make the other happy. That is what I evaluate for myself. When I evaluate the other, I can see this assurance that the other also wants to make me happy. So seeing that the other is, I am assured that the other is intending to make me happy and prosperous. This is what we refer to as trust.
Yes, sir. G. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So on this foundation only, we can speak about other feelings, starting from respect. So there, as you said, the reaction, it is required. You can just see what is the meaning of reaction here. When we say reaction, it is being connected to none. I'm feeling this opposition to the other human being, so I react. I'm feeling this opposition because I cannot see the feeling of the foundation feeling of trust with other human being. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I doesn't mean a reaction means the opposition, but
okay.
you are right, sir. You're right.
So that is what what you mean is a response. So when I can see this relatedness, when I can see this relationship with other human being, I respond. Right. That is what you would have mean.
Sir,
Irrespective
that
of
is the term response.
yeah.
Thanks.
Very nice. Thank you. Irrespective of what the other person is, how the other person is responding to me or reacting to me, with notwithstanding that or unperturbed with that, I respond to the other. So this is the foundation of the feelings. That is what is trust. As you can see on screen, the intention of the other human being is same. That is a key proposal in trust, but the competence is different in different human beings. So we both may be lacking in competence. This is what we are trying to explore in this particular session regarding the right evaluation of this competence. So before that, let us see what is the meaning of this respect. when we make a program with each other, essentially the basis of our present level of competence with trust or natural acceptance. So I see that the intention is same for every human being as the primary proposal. And then the competence, I try to evaluate the mutual competence with other. Yeah. So before going to the respect part, we have also seen that we try to get respect from others through clothes, through language, those who speak in English, those who speak in a foreign language like that, or those who have money, etc. They may be respected more. This is what is happening with us, but it doesn't seem to work most of the time. It is temporary. So when I see that the person who is coming in good clothes, when I see that his behavior, when I evaluate him on the basis of his behavior later, maybe the respect which I had with me because of the clothes, that may go off. And so also a case of money. So when I see that the person is having money and I have a feeling of respect for him, but this is temporary. So the evaluation may change after some time. Whether Prakash, your mic is on, do you have any question or sharing? Whether Prakash, your mic is unmuted, do you have any question or sharing?
Yes, sir. I want to ask something.
Yeah,
Am I audible to you?
yes.
Sir, if somebody is asking me, trust is the opposite of telling a lie. Is it the same? Is it true?
I would say no. It is not the opposite of telling a lie. Trust is the
Just in a
assurance.
general sense.
We are talking about only the general sense only. It is the assurance that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. It is assurance that the other's intention is same as that of mine.
Okay.
That is trust. Yeah, that is trust. Then if you are assured with the naturally acceptable feelings within,
Okay.
What we say, the truth. Truth and liar, what do you mean? So the truth will automatically follow, right? Whatever I speak will be regarded the truth only. I won't be lying. If I am lying, that is also part of my incompetence, lack of competence. I didn't want to tell a lie, but because of some circumstances, I would say, external circumstances, I tell a lie. And this is my lack of competence. But even then, even when I speak or the others speak a lie, we can see that we do not want to tell a lie. But this happens because of my or the other person's lack of competence. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Thank you. Yeah, Rishirajji, your hand is raised. Please go ahead.
So, whatever we were discussing here about the trust and competence, it is very obvious that we both lack the competence.
Yes.
Because we lack the competence, then only there is the question of trust arises. Because whenever we come into the situation that we have the competence of ananyata, then only we find that the other person is just like me. And then we behave that we have the competence of the trust completely. And if we have the question of trust, it means we have the lack of competence. So when we said, however, we both may be lacking in competence is right, as I think. Sir.
Yeah. The statement which you made towards the end is very true, that we both are lacking in competence. So before I see that we are lacking in competence, what I see for myself, not for the other, what I see for myself is that I am pure in my intention. I do not want to make mistakes. Mistakes happen from my side because of lack of competence. That is the second thing. So what I can see for myself is that I never want to make mistakes. So this is the similarity with the other person. Other person is also similar to me. In that context, that the other, when I can see that I do not want to make mistakes, the other also do not want to make mistakes. So before I evaluate the mutual competence, I can see this. So that's why we say that this is a foundation feeling. And then we see that, as you very rightly said towards the end, the competence of all the human beings, yours, mine, every other human being, is different. So when I see that my competence is less than that of you, my commitment is to seek help from you to improve my competence without having a feeling of ego. If it is the other way around, it is my responsibility to help you to improve your competence. So in both the cases, there is no possibility for reaction, but response only. So trust is, even before I evaluate the competence, seeing that the intention of every human being is same. Intention is the natural acceptance only. So natural acceptance, as we discussed in the in various sessions of the workshops, and here this platform also, it is an invariant, innate faculty with every one of us. Invariant with time, place, or person. I can find my solutions. I can find my responses for my problems through this innate faculty. So this is the same for every human being, and this is not changing with time, place, or person. And seeing that the natural acceptance is same for every human being is trust. So we have to be very clear about this foundation feeling of trust. Then we can go to discussion about respect. Very nice that you have made that point, and we could have discussion again, further clarification. Meanwhile, Ashutosh Vajpayee has a comment in the yeah, Ishraji, please.
Sir, a question. I have a question. Whether we can raise our capability to see our intention perpetually on the basis of natural acceptance.
Yeah, intention is my natural acceptance. What I intend to do, what I want to do, is my natural acceptance.
Sir,
I can see for myself. I can see for myself that right now I am discussing this content with you for my own clarity. Yeah, I want to make myself happy. I want to make yourself happy in the realm of understanding. I'm just trying that. But when I do that, in fact, I am getting more happy. More in the sense, I am getting happy for sure. Yeah. So I can also see that when you ask this question, you also wanted to make yourself as well as the other person's happy. Happy in the sense harmony. That is the meaning of happiness there.
Sir, I raise this question because most of the time I find myself that I go far away from our natural acceptance, and most of the time I just not feel about the surroundings. Why is it so? I raise this question: whether it is possible perpetually to feel about the natural acceptance.
Yeah, we can see it for ourselves. Whether I wanted to come back to see things through my natural acceptance, or do can I live with only my acceptances? I may be having several acceptances based on my preconditionings and sensations, but the natural acceptance for you and for me, for every other human being, is same. So do I want to come back to that, or do I want to be in my acceptances? This is something which we can see for ourselves. We want to be in relationship. That is what we have asked, maybe as the first question regarding natural acceptance. All of us want to be in relationship. There is no question about this.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, very nice. So, and if you ask this naturally acceptable feelings, do you want to ensure this feeling of respect within? Yes, I want to ensure the feeling of respect within. I want to ensure the feeling of trust within, not mistrust. I do not want to ensure the feeling of mistrust within, disrespect within, but respect. So I can see that I want to ensure the feeling of affection and other feelings. So these are the feelings in relationship. So this is natural acceptance for me, and this is natural acceptance for you and every other human being. This assurance is what I wanted to have for myself. And now I can also see that the other is also wanting for himself or herself to have this naturally acceptable feelings. But as you said, we may be deviating away from this because we have a lot of acceptances owing to our preconditionings or sensation. Yeah, this is okay. This is the current scenario. But we all are trying to see natural acceptance. We all are trying to see this naturally acceptable feelings, ensure the naturally acceptable feelings within. And this is possible, but this may take time. I can see that I take a lot of time. So for the other human being, he or she may take more time than that. So the time may be different, but all of us can see that the potential is there, the possibility is there. That's what we are. That's why we are sitting here even for this 1 hour here, I would say. Yeah, nice. Okay. Ashutosh ji is typing in the chat box. Can we say that having right understanding, clarity about the intention on the basis of purpose, program, and potential of the other person is trust? Yeah, having right understanding and clarity about the intention. Clarity about the intention is right. That is the basis. As a foundation, I can see my intention. I can see it very clearly. I never intended to make mistakes. My intention is very pure. But unfortunately, I would say because of lack of competence, rather, the mistakes are happening, and that is an accident. As far as I am concerned, all my mistakes are accidents. That is because of lack of right understanding in myself. That is because I'm not ensured within this naturally acceptable feelings. That may be because I cannot see things through my natural acceptance. So there are many reasons for that. All those are connected to lack of right understanding. That is true. Now, on the base of purpose, program, and potential, I can see that the other human being is similar to me. So this is the minimum content of respect. We are coming to that. So trust is to see the clarity of intention, that I am pure about my intention, and the other human being is also pure about his intention. This is what is trust. If I cannot see that, that is of course lack of right understanding. But then I see that my purpose, my program, and my potential are same with the other human being. We're going to see that in this session. Yeah, Ashutosh ji has raised hand. Yeah, you can speak. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, just I want to know this thing. The intention of my and the intention of other person, that is same.
Yeah, same.
So there is no doubt there is a lack of competency in me, as well as there is lack of competency in the other. I understand this thing, but at the same time, I am able to understand that the intention of my intention and the other person intention is same. So is it trust na? इसी को
That
हम
is
trust
trust.
बोलेंगे. That
That
is
is
trust ना.
trust. Yeah, true. Very true. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Nice discussion. So we go forward. Let us try to explore if understanding respect is a solution here. So let us try to understand what is respect. So I propose this to all of you. We have seen this in the workshops also. Respect as right evaluation. When I say right evaluation, it is the evaluation of the human being in the self, not on the body. So we discussed that in detail. Now, to see what is right evaluation, let us see how do we evaluate ourselves as well as the other human being. Our evaluation is evaluating for more than what it is. That is, if you take an example of, let's say, somebody is doing something good. In some context, maybe securing marks in an examination, or maybe doing good in a sports item, or maybe accomplishing a project work, whatever. So when we evaluate that human being who did some good deed as is able to, the human being is able to, the person is able to do anything over the competence or more than the competence of that person. This is over-evaluation. So when I say that when somebody is scoring good marks for an examination, is able to crack any other examination, is it right evaluation or is it over-evaluation? What do you think? Or when I say somebody who is doing good in a project, completing a project, can do any other project similar to this or otherwise, is it right evaluation or over evaluation? Over evaluation. Over evaluation. Yeah, very nice. I can see comments in chat box. Over evaluation. Very good. Rajesh Kumar ji is typing right evaluation. Can I get a comment from Rajesh Kumar ji? Why are you telling this is right evaluation? Sudosh Pajpeji is also typing over evaluation. Rajesh Kumar ji, my question is, when somebody is doing a project, you can take your own case. Suppose you are doing a project nicely, finished it in time, and the expected outcome is there. Suppose somebody is holding a meeting and telling, even otherwise, without a meeting also, your higher authority may be telling that you can do any such kind of project, and you will be completing that in time, and you will be making good results also.
हेलो
जी
जी, सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
यस यस यस, प्लीज गो अहेड.
अगर कोई व्यक्ति को काम दिया गया और वो सही टाइम पे और ठीक से कर पा रहा है, तो उससे हम ये अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि उस व्यक्ति को और अगर काम हम देते हैं तो ठीक से कर सकता है. तो उसका अधिमूल्यन तो नहीं है, ओवर इवैल्यूएशन भी नहीं है, राइट वैल्यूएशन हम कर रहे हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे.
Yeah, so there is a point in what you are telling. That is, we appreciate that person for the deed which he is doing. Very true. We have
Yes,
to
yes.
motivate that
Yes.
person for the further
For
projects.
further work.
That is very true. Very true. But if you evaluate the other person that you can do any other project which is similar or dissimilar to this one,
Maybe similar work, but cannot say different work. He can do easily without knowing that. He cannot do other work that will be not similar to same work.
now let
It
us.
means we are over-evaluating the person. If the person is doing the same work with efficiency, then you can increase the extent of the same work. He is not capable enough. Suppose that the person is doing very good in the mathematics, and we give him the work of the English work, then there may be a lag.
There may be, yes, like
So,
that.
it is a
Because
It is
work is the road map of that person, and if he is doing well work which we have given to him. Okay,
the
sir.
same question was arising. What is the basis of right evaluation?
Yeah, very, very nice question. So the basis of right evaluation is what we are going to discuss, the competence. If you evaluate a person at par with the competence of that person, that is right evaluation. So we are coming to that. So before that, if you evaluate a person for more than the competence of the person, as we say, if somebody is doing good in mathematics, if you evaluate that, he can do good in English also or other subjects. This is not right evaluation. That's what we can see. But even in the case of mathematics, maybe next time, if his performance is not at par with the previous performance, what do we say?
Yes, I agree that such person cannot do different type of work.
Yeah. So appreciation is required, motivation is required.
Yes.
That is very important. But at the same time, if you say that this person can do more than what his competence is, this may be over evaluation. The person may go into a state of ego in such a situation. Very, very important. If somebody is doing, say, I can take my example. If somebody says that when I score marks in an examination, and if my teacher tells that I can get a state rank or I can get a rank in the university, whatever. But I know that my competency has not been developed to that extent. And when I also considers myself with that ego that I'm the person who the teacher thinks to get a rank. But then if I could not accomplish that task, I may go into depression also. My over-evaluation of myself because of the teacher's over-evaluation may go into depression when I could not accomplish that task. So appreciation is good. So yeah, I have acquired this much marks in this examination. That is very good. Please keep it up. That is very good. Motivation, appreciation. But if you evaluate the person that he can do in any other examination, this may be we can just see whether it is right evaluation or over evaluation. I can quote another example, say in this introduction part. Suppose somebody is going to speak on the stage, and there may be people who introduce the speaker. So when this introduction is going on, sometimes to impress the person who is going to speak, the person who introduces may add something from his or her side also. Something more than what is available for introduction. So what do you think? Is this making the speaker comfortable or discomfortable?
Comfortable.
When somebody, yeah, if it is at par with my competence, at par with my my skills, I'm comfortable. If it is not, if it is more than that, if the evaluation or if the introduction is more than my skills and competence, then will you be comfortable? In my case, I am discomfort. I mean, I am in discomfort for sure. Because if somebody says that this person has a particular degree, let's say, and now with this degree, he is producing a lot of, with the help of this degree as well as with his research, now he is producing, let's say 100, 200 publications. I did not have done that. I have made publications, but very few only. So if somebody says that he has hundreds of publications in many reputed international journals, I may be discomfortable. I may be to discomfort. So if you evaluate a person for more than what it is, that is what we are referring here as over-evaluation. People used to go to discomfort. And sometimes when in the next meeting also, if you are comfortable, in the next meeting also, you may expect such kind of an evaluation. But if you are not getting that, there you may become uncomfortable. So I have an evaluation of myself, notwithstanding what the other person evaluates me, how the other person evaluates me. So we are coming to that. So this, what do you see? Over-evaluation happens in some situations, or in all situations we have this motivation or appreciation only happening. The Vaishali is typing in the chat box, overexcited. Yeah, this overexcitement happens. Sometime in some situations, over-evaluation also happens. This pricing, overpricing. So suppose somebody wants to have some accomplishment with you, then this pricing may go to a level of over-evaluation. I'm not giving specific examples, but this is also happening. We can just see for ourselves that whether this over-evaluation happens sometimes. Right. So evaluating for more than the competence of a person is what we refer to as over-evaluation. And now we can look at our students. When our students do some good deed, do we go for this over-evaluation or just appreciation part? Rishita, this hand was raising education. So if
Yes, I raised whatever you are saying is very right. I want to add some few more sentences. In fact, evaluation is the activity what we do every moment. And
Very true,
most
very
of
true.
the time we make it over evaluated or under evaluation. It is very common and natural process. So we must be very careful in the evaluation. And for evaluation of the other person, we must keep one thing in mind. Motivation is not sufficient. First point, as I think that we must be stand with the other person in which field we are expecting with the other person. And in this process, we improve ourselves as well as the other person's competence.
Gee, very true, very true. Yeah, maybe sometimes our students may not be able to see their potential. So, as you said, rightly said, I have to stand with him. I have to stand with my student or the other to help him to improve further without over-evaluating, I would say, and without under-evaluating. So whenever he is going down, I can come to help of the person so that he can rightly evaluate himself. Sometimes we may, even before this meeting also, I had a call from one of my friends telling that I'm depressed because I couldn't finish my PhD. I said, no, is your depression because of not doing your work in time, or is it because you have decided that you cannot do it? Then he said, it is because I have decided that I cannot do it. So who is going to change, or who is going to do the PhD for you? You yourself. Who is going to do the work? If I always think that I cannot do it, you cannot do it for sure. So I can see the potential within that I have the capacity to do this, and I only am going to finish this PhD for myself. Then I will not have this feeling of depression. I will not be just, even if something is pending, I will meticulously do the work and see that the work is getting completed in time. So without going into a state of ego or depression, I can rightly evaluate myself. This possibility is there with me, but many times we may have to come to rescue or help just to see their potential. That's it. Just to see their natural acceptance, not as a solution. We cannot give them solutions, but we can help them to find their own solutions. And this evaluation part is very important in this case. So as we discussed, sometimes we may under-evaluate also, evaluating for less than our level of competence. This is what we refer to as under-evaluation, evaluating for less than what it is. When somebody is doing something, maybe a project, not in time or not up to the expectations, then if the higher authority evaluates that person as good for nothing, he cannot do anything. Is this right evaluation or under evaluation? Yeah, under evaluation. This is, I can now connect with the examples of low scoring of marks or whatever. When the performance is less than, yeah, under evaluation. Performance is less than what is expected. If you evaluate that person as cannot do anything at all, this is under evaluation. Everyone has potential, everyone can do things, but because of lack of competence, sometimes maybe within time I could not be able to finish that. Also, sometimes I may not be meeting all the deadline, or may not be meeting all the expected outcomes in a project. But what is the role of the higher authority? To help the person. Without helping the person, if he says that, authority says that you cannot do this work, so I'm going to employ another one in your place to do this. So this is under evaluating the capacity of the person. So evaluating for less than the competence is under evaluation. And sometimes we may evaluate a person for other than what it is. So the evaluation of a human being is on the base of self, as we discussed in the beginning. But when we evaluate a human being, not even on the base of self, but on the base of body, or comparing with something which is other than the human being. I say that, why are you standing like a statue? I'm speaking to you something, but you are standing like a statue, not even listening to me. When I say standing like a statue, I'm comparing the human being with statue. Maybe a statue may be made up of some other material, say stone, for example. So stone or statue is not a human being at all. Yeah, so this is what we refer to as otherwise evaluation. Evaluating a human being for other than the self of the human being. All kind of this differentiation. Say being a male, you can do this. Being a female, you cannot do this. So on and so forth. Being a wealthy person, you can do this. Being a poor, you cannot do this. So all this kind of evaluation, if we do that, this is coming under this otherwise evaluation. Nice. So what do you think? This, when we over-evaluate, under-evaluate, or otherwise evaluate a person, is it respect or disrespect? When we over-evaluate, under-evaluate, or otherwise evaluate a person, is it respect or disrespect? Disrespect. So these three evaluations, which is, yeah, nice. Now I'm getting response in chat box. Disrespect. Vedha Prakash ji, Ashutosh Pajpay ji. Before that, we have Rajesh Kumar ji. All are putting disrespect in the chat box. So these three kind of evaluations can be referred to as wrong evaluation, which is not right evaluation. So this is, whenever the evaluation is not right, it is disrespect. Now we can check ourselves in every interaction with others, whether the interaction is leading towards respect or disrespect. That is it right evaluation, or is it over evaluation, under evaluation, or otherwise evaluation? This may be a good exercise. Whenever we interact with other human being, how I evaluate the other, how the other person evaluates me. Whether it is evaluating myself rightly or over, under, otherwise. Now, yes. So, over evaluation leads to ego. When somebody evaluates me for more than my competence, if I do not have an evaluation upon myself rightly, at par with my competence, I may consider myself as more than what my competence is. So there, I may go into a state of ego. When somebody tells me that you can, when you have scored say 90% marks or 90% above marks in some subjects, you can crack an entrance examination also of that subject, and you can score very good rank. So I consider myself that I am good. So because I cleared one examination of that particular subject with this much marks, now any examination of that subject I can clear. So I may generate an ego within, and sometimes I may not prepare that well also because I have this confidence. Maybe I would say overconfidence, not self-confidence. Next time when I see that I could not score to that extent, to that level, this ego may go into depression, because that time when I scored less, my over-evaluation may go into under-evaluation. So those people who are under-evaluated or otherwise evaluated also may go into a state of depression. When I say someone cannot do anything, good for nothing, or like a donkey, when you go for this kind of evaluation for a person, the person may go into it. If the person does not have evaluation upon himself, right evaluation upon himself or herself, the person may go into a state of depression. So are we going into the state of ego and depression, or do we have this right evaluation upon ourselves? We have to evaluate for ourselves. So when somebody else evaluates something upon us, whether it is over-evaluation or under-evaluation, are we going along with that, or are we rightly evaluating ourselves, leading to this self-confidence? Are you able to see that the competence of you is up to certain level and you can always improve that competence? Or are we thinking that the competence of ourselves is more than what I think, more than what I have, or the competence is less than what I have? Because the other person or from some external agency, external trigger, I have this evaluation that my competence is more or less, whatever. Are you evaluating yourself rightly or over, under, otherwise? This question can be asked to each and every one of us. And also, when we discuss this content with the students, this question can be asked, placing different examples with the students. So when I rightly evaluate myself, I am self-referential. I'm not going to be succumbing to the peer pressure. I'm not going to go by the over-evaluation, under, otherwise evaluation of the other human being, including my elders, my teachers, my parents. If they do over-evaluation or under-evaluation, otherwise evaluation, I do not go by that. I know my level of competence because I evaluate myself rightly. So I have the self-confidence. I'm self-referential. So this may lead to a definite conduct for myself. But at the same time, when I go with the over-evaluation of the other human being, I also over-evaluate for myself. I'm in a state of ego because I go with the other person's reference. I go with the other person's evaluation. So the other is my reference. This is indefinite. I say this is indefinite conduct because this may change. Maybe the same person who evaluates me over, after some time or when he sees that my competence is less, may evaluate myself less than what it is. Or the same person who over-evaluated me at a time, later he may under-evaluate me. This possibility is also there. So when the other person's opinion changes, then when I see that the other person is my reference, then I may go from ego to depression. This is why I say this is the conduct is indefinite, because I'm not my reference, the other person is my reference. This is also applicable to under evaluation, otherwise evaluation, because this is not definite. So owing to the under evaluation, otherwise evaluation of the other person, I go by that. I consider the other as my reference, and I'm in depression. Now this person who under evaluated me, otherwise evaluated me, may sometimes over evaluate me. So this changes, the opinion changes accordingly. My depression may go into ego. So this conduct is also indefinite. Any questions regarding this right evaluation and wrong evaluations? Any sharing? We used to place this example of a student who, yeah, Ashutoshji, please go ahead. Yeah, hand is raised.
Just please clarify about the otherwise evaluation and comparison. For example, if any employee is very hardworking, he works day and night dedicated to his or her work or whatever it is. So we say he's working like a donkey. But I understand it is otherwise evaluation. But comparing that quality with that person only. So is it right or not?
Yeah, if you say that the person is working like a donkey, this is otherwise evaluation because he is not like a donkey, not like a donkey.
It is otherwise evaluation, but
Yeah.
I am just trying to compare that quality. If take another example, if anybody sings very good, and I say singing like Nightingale or like this, so I am comparing that quality of the person with the other one. So it is not otherwise evaluation. I am not saying he or she is like that, but I am just comparing that quality. If there are some people in our family or in society, if they are sleeping and there is a little noise is there, so they immediately come awake and come to down to their bed. So that quality is of a dog. So I am comparing this quality. So is it how you can say that this is otherwise evaluation? I'm just comparing that quality. And if there are so many examples we can take, Bhaiya, please throw some light on this thing.
Yeah, that is a very important question, I would say. So comparing the quality, or rather the quality of the person which the person is depicting, to see the person that the quality is good. This is very, very, very important. So for that, I'm not sure if we were to compare that. Rather, maybe even if we are comparing, the purpose is to help the person understand that the quality is good, or whatever the person is depicting is good. For that purpose, we can speak like that, but that the focus can be upon helping the person, upon motivating the person, upon appreciating the person. That is okay. That is not otherwise evaluation. But if we compare him with something else than the human body, something else as the human self, I would say, this will be otherwise evaluation. We do this comparison with students, right? Yeah, the student who is coming first, we tell the other students, become like him. Can somebody become like anyone? Sometimes we may say that the neighbor is doing this good, so you also become like the neighbors, or the neighbor's son, or the neighbor's daughter. Look at him, he is doing good, so why can't you also become like him? This also may develop a state of depression, or sometimes a state of ego if it is over evaluation within the self of the student. So comparison is leading towards even opposition, because then my child may think that, oh, the neighbor's son, he is my enemy because my father always compares with the neighbor's son. Yeah, so this is the comparison. We have to be very careful when we compare. As you said, if it is to help the other person to see the quality, then this is okay. That is right evaluation. But if we compare to show the person that, you see the other person has a good quality, and you are now only coming at par with the other person's quality, then this may create a feeling of opposition. For depicting the quality, we can say it straight without comparing it with anybody. In fact, nobody is comparable with anybody else, I would say, because the competence of every human being is different.
That is unique, I agree. But for example, if a student is a very good orator, so we compare, you are a very good orator, just like that politician, or we just take the name, or just in our family. Just let me take example. When I listen to Vinay Sidri Bhaiya, then sometimes it comes to my mind, Bhaiya, he is explaining just like Umesh ji. I have attended a number of workshops of Umesh ji, and when I listen to Virat Bhaiya, so somehow I compare that he is just like that. So there, I'm not. This is not otherwise evaluation. Just I want to say that that quality of Umesh ji, I'm comparing that with Vinay Bhaiya. So is it not otherwise evaluation, Bhaiya, na? Because it is very thin line, and from the last 2 years, I'm not able to understand it perfectly. So that's why I raised this question.
Yeah, so this is okay, because Vinay Bhai can also see that this is not affecting him. When we say that, I also have mentioned this comment, because when he speaks like Umesh Bhaiya.
Yes, sir, but yeah, that is my personal opinion. Similarly, when I listen to Nidhi Didi or Priya Didi, so sometimes I'm confused who is speaking, whether she is Priya Didi or Nidhi Didi. But I keep on listening that thing. So just I'm comparing that thing, that she's on the same guideline, on the same. So there is a very thin line between comparison and otherwise evaluation. Because otherwise evaluation, I'm not taking the whole of that thing, but only that quality.
Yeah. Otherwise, evaluation is anyway, we are connecting the human being with other than the self of the human being in general. So this is okay, because if the person can also see that the evaluation is not affecting him, he knows his Vinay Bhaiya, for example, he knows his abilities, he knows his competence, then this is fine. That's okay. If it is to, as you said, the quality, if it is just to help him to know the quality, this is fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so today we are almost out of time. It is 8:30. Ji, Rishiraj ji, any quick question from your side?
Sir, I think that evaluation of the work should be done, not evaluation of the person. And comparison is try to be always avoided.
Yeah.
Comparison of the two persons should not be done at any stage, in my view. Work only can be compared. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So this is what I also can say. When you compare, the possibility is for opposition, is for considering the other as enemy or things like that. This may be there, unless the person who is compared is not perturbed. So it is always good to avoid comparison. Let us, as you said, let us discuss regarding the work part or the competence part. So we can see the competence of the other person, we can evaluate the person rightly. And for myself also, I can see my competence, I can evaluate myself rightly, notwithstanding how the other person evaluates me. Nice. So thank you so much for this enriching discussion today. I also have gained several things from your discussions, and this is helping many students also who are connected in Zoom as well as this YouTube channel platform. Thank you so much. So we'll meet next Wednesday, same time for the discussions. Over to you, Parishit Bhaiya, for the closure.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you all the course bro for this interactive discussion, and we surely have more and more such students. So we'll meet again next Wednesday for the same. So thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.